Hello everybody, it's Craftin' Just Because with Chris Cowan. I'm just getting set up here. I hope everybody's having a great Thursday. I know I am. Okay, so we are going to be playing today with the Frames and Flowers 12x12 Specialty Designer Series paper. It coordinates with Shaded Spruce, so we're using the coordinating cardstock and ink pad. I'm going to use a sentiment from Country Birdhouse, this Hello Friend. And I already die cut or punched out a couple of the frames. They were in this kit, so I don't have to pull them all out and get them all ruffled up. But then we're also going to be using this piece of Designer Series paper. So let's go ahead and start cutting everything up. We are going to be making a 3D project today because I feel bad. That's usually top on my list, and I've been making a lot of cards lately. So actually, let's go ahead and stamp this, and then it can dry and we can move the stamp set aside before we bring in our paper trimmer. There's my Hello Friend. And here is my ink. And I'm going to put it like this, just for something different. Oh, love, love, love. Oh, I'm loving this paper. Okay, so we're going to set those two pieces aside. Let me bring in a wipe here. Is it hot where you all are? It is hot here. I do not like the heat that much, especially as I've gotten older. So I'm like, ugh. I told my husband last night, I said, I'm like a bear who needs to hibernate, and I hibernate when it's hot. He laughed. Okay. So there's that. Let's move these pieces just out of the way. And we'll bring in that paper trimmer. Oh, okay. So first thing we want to do is we want to cut our Shaded Spruce cardstock. And we are going to cut a piece that is 9.5 by 8. So I'm going to cut this down to 9.5. And I'm going to cut this side down to 8. Okay. And then on the 8-inch side, we want to score it at 1.5 inches. At 3 inches. At 4.5 inches. At 6 inches. And at 7.5 inches. Okay, then we're going to rotate it just like this. So your skinny side's up at the top. And we are going to score it on that 9.5 inch side at 1.5 inches. At 6.5 inches. And at 8 inches. Okay. And then I'm just going to set that aside for a minute. And I'm going to bring in that Designer Series paper. And we want to cut, let's see, 4 pieces that are 1 1/4 by 1 1/4. So let's go ahead and cut this at 1 1/4. 1 1/4, 1 1/4, and 1 1/4. Okay, there's that set. Then I want 3 pieces that are 1 1/4 by 3 1/4. One, 2, 3. And then I need 1 piece that is 1 1/4 by 4 3/4. So I'm going to go ahead, cut this at 1 1/4, and then at 4 3/4. Okay, so let me move all of my pieces here. And my paper trimmer. And we will need to do some burnishing and cutting of our cardstock here. So first what we want to do is, let's see here. This is going to be the top with the 2 smaller sections at the top. Let's go ahead and burnish all of our score lines. Okay, we're going to start with the bottom. On the bottom, we want to take off this tiny little rectangle and tab it up into that next section, okay? And then we want to take these 2 sections out on the right-hand side. So I'm just going to cut up that score line. Okay. Then on the bottom, we're going to cut up each score line to the intersecting score line. Just like that. Okay. Next, we want to tab this end and take off those 2 small rectangles. And I will hold this straight, or show it flat once we have all the cutting done. Okay, so there's that. Then I want to take off these 4 squares. So I'm just going to, again, use my cut on those score lines. Okay, so you got a funky shape like this. Next, what you're going to do is on this side that has the bottom out, we are going to cut on the score line and then we're going to wedge the top piece. Okay. And then on the other side, we need to make this its own square. So we're just going to cut up each of the score lines. And then we're going to wedge on the top piece. So that is what your box should look like. Okay. So then, let me just show you how this is going to go together. So, this is going to make a lid. So hold on. You're going to fold these in. And it's going to make a lid that pops on and off. Like this. Okay. So what we want is this last piece is going to have the biggest piece of designer series paper. And then these are going to have the smaller pieces because the lid's going to come up, down onto it and cover it up. Okay. And then we have these pieces to put on like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip over 2 of them. So on 2 of these, I'm going to go the opposite way. And the same there. Okay? So that's how I'm going to glue mine down. So I'm just going to start with the left side and start gluing them down. Just like so. So I like this because it doesn't waste designer series paper. We didn't cut pieces that went way up there. You could put a treat in here, cash, lotion, if you find the right size bottle. I'm going to just turn these this way. Almost there. I have 2 more to glue down. And then we'll put the box together. This template idea was from the Paper Pixie. I didn't make up the measurements or anything like that. I like to take a creation that somebody else does and, you know, put my own twist on it. Oh, hold on. I almost messed that up. We're going to put glue on this side. Fold that down. Okay, and then we're going to add glue to our tab. Lining up those lines. I'm going to run my bone folder in there just to make sure I get that nice and flat. Okay. And then on the bottom, I'm going to put my front one forward And I'm going to put my bottom one down, and then the sides next. And then we'll put the front flap down just so it has a nice look to the front of our project. So just like that. I'm going to put it on its bottom, and I'm going to run my bone folder down there. Make sure it's nice and put down. And then your little lid will close just like this. Oh, I like that. And then what I was thinking would be that we would put glue down the center of this. And I'm going to tuck that branch just up there. And then let's go ahead and add a dimensional to our little flower from the paper pack. And we'll add that there to the lid. And then your project will be all complete. Whoops. And so then there's your flip top box. I love how that turned out. And I loved that we were able to use that paper pack, the frames and such. So that's our project for today, my friends. I hope you had a great day. If you make this project, please tag me in it. I'd love to see your creation. And until next time, my creative peeps, I will see you later. Bye-bye.